Welcome back to the Fit Focus Forum, where we take the complexity out of fitness and put the focus back on action. So we give high achieving professionals, the ones juggling 50-hour work weeks, constant travel, and maybe a little bit of low-key burnout, the precise strategies they need to own their fitness without sacrificing their careers or their sanity. So tonight we're talking about something that is everywhere right now: protein. High protein cookies, high protein chips, high protein cereal, high protein ice cream, high protein Pop-Tarts. The list goes on. If you walk into a grocery store today, it feels like the entire middle section has been dusted in whey powder and marketed as muscle food. So the question is this: are all protein sources created equal? Is protein just protein, or is there a difference between grilled salmon and a protein brownie that tastes suspiciously like drywall with chocolate chips? So by the end of this conversation, you'll understand what makes a protein source good, what makes it not so good, what ultra-processed foods actually do to your body, and how to make smart choices without becoming the guy who's afraid of a protein bar. So let's start with a truth that might surprise you. Protein is essential. It's not optional. It's not trendy. It's foundational. Your muscles, your enzymes, your immune system, your hormones, your skin, your hair, your neurotransmitters all rely on amino acids. If you want to lose fat while keeping muscle, protein matters. If you want to build muscle, protein matters. If you want to age well and not become fragile at 60, protein matters. But here's the part the internet leaves out: protein quality matters too. So when we're talking about good protein sources, we're usually talking about whole, minimally processed foods that provide complete amino acid profiles and come packaged with nutrients your body recognizes. Think things like eggs, Greek yogurts, chicken thighs, lean beef, salmon, tofu, tempeh, cottage cheese, lentils paired with grains for the vegetarians. These foods are not just protein, they're protein plus micronutrients, plus healthy fats, plus fiber in some cases, plus bioavailable vitamins and minerals. Your body understands these foods. You digest them efficiently. You absorb the amino acids. Your blood sugar remains relatively stable. Your hunger signals respond normally. You eat, you feel satisfied, and you just move on with your life. Now, let's shift to the not so good protein sources. And I want to be clear here. Not so good does not mean evil. It means context matters. So when you see a protein cookie from a brand like Lenny and Larry's, or protein chips from Quest, or high protein cereal from Magic Spoon, what you're looking at is a highly engineered food product. These foods are typically made from protein isolates, starches, sugar alcohols, artificial sweeteners, emulsifiers, gums, and flavor systems that are designed to mimic the mouthfeel of original junk food. Does it contain protein? Yes. Does it technically count towards your daily protein target? Yes, it does. But is it functioning in your body the same way as a piece of grilled chicken or a bowl of Greek yogurt? Not exactly. So here's why. Ultra-processed foods are designed to be hyper palatable. That means they hit the bliss point of sweet, salty, fatty, crunchy, and chewy. Even when labeled high protein, they're engineered for repeat consumption. Your brain lights the fuck up. Dopamine fires, and you don't eat just one cookie. You eat one, and you think about when you're going to have the second one. And when ultra-processed foods dominate your protein intake, a few things happen. First, your satiety signals get confused. Whole protein sources tend to keep you fuller longer because of the combination of protein density, food volume, fiber, and slower digestion. Protein bar might have 20 grams of protein, but it's gone in 5 bites. It doesn't stretch your stomach much, it doesn't require chewing effort, and you can inhale it while answering emails. Second, many of these foods come with additives that impact digestion. Sugar alcohols, and again, saying these words is difficult for me, erythritol and maltitol. I practiced those earlier and I knew they still weren't going to come out right. They can cause bloating, gas, and diarrhea in some people. If you can't pronounce it, why are you eating it, right? Emulsifiers and certain food additives have been studied for their potential effects on gut permeability and microbiome balance. I'm not saying one protein cookie will destroy your gut. I'm saying if your diet is built on ultra-processed, protein-enhanced snacks, your digestive system may not love you back. Third, we have to talk about displacement. When protein cookies and protein chips replace real food, you're losing out on micronutrients. So think about it like this. Chicken comes with iron and B vitamins. Salmon comes with omega-3 fatty acids. Greek yogurt comes with calcium and probiotics. Protein cereal fortified with synthetic vitamins is not the same thing as whole food nutrition. So now let's zoom out even further and talk about what ultra processed foods do to your body beyond just protein content. So research consistently shows that diets high in ultra processed foods are associated with higher calorie intake, increased inflammation markers, higher risk of metabolic dysfunction, and more difficulty regulating appetite. Why? Because these foods bypass natural satiety mechanisms. They are soft, easy to eat, often low in fiber, and often combined with refined starches. And now companies are adding protein to them and marketing them as healthy. A cookie is still a cookie, even if it has whey protein in it. A chip is still a chip, even if it says 18 grams of protein on the bag. This is where people easily get confused. They think it fits my macros, so it's fine. And yes, technically, if your calories and your protein are on point, you can lose weight while eating protein chips. But long-term health is not just about hitting macros, it's about the quality of the inputs. Here's a good analogy. I want you to think about this. Imagine two houses built with the same number of bricks. One house uses high quality bricks, solid mortar, strong foundational materials. The other one uses cheap, brittle bricks and glue from a dollar store. On paper, both houses have the same number of bricks, but which one do you want to live in for the next 40 years? That's whole food protein versus ultra processed protein snacks. Now let's talk about practical application because I know some of you are thinking, so I can never have a protein bar again. That is not what I'm saying. In the modified macro method, we are about sustainability. We're about flexibility. A protein bar during travel, when you're stuck in an airport and your only other option is a cinnamon bun the size of your head, that's an absolute win. But here's the rule. Whole food protein should make up the majority of your intake. Think 80% from whole sources, 20% from convenience or processed options, not the other way around. So there's that 80-20 thing again. Notice that it seems to show up everywhere. It's the rule to live by. So what does that look like in a day? All right, breakfast could be eggs and egg whites with vegetables. Lunch could be grilled chicken over a salad with olive oil. Snack could be Greek yogurt with berries. Dinner could be salmon with roasted vegetables and rice. If you throw in a protein bar between meetings because you're slammed, great. That is strategic. Where people get into trouble is when breakfast is protein cereal, a snack is a protein cookie, lunch is a protein wrap with processed deli meat, snack is a protein chips, and dessert is protein ice cream. Technically high protein, practically still ultra processed. So now another thing we need to address is marketing language. When a package says high protein, your brain categorizes it as healthy. That's called a health halo. Companies know this. They slap 15 grams of protein on the front of the box and shrink the serving size so that the calories look low. Meanwhile, it's still refined flour, seed oils, and artificial sweeteners with whey mixed in. Protein does not automatically cancel out poor ingredient quality. And we also have to talk about muscle building specifically. Muscle protein synthesis is stimulated most effectively when you consume a complete protein source with adequate leucine content. Animal-based proteins like whey, eggs, beef, dairy, they're particularly effective at this. Some plant proteins can do it too, but they often require larger quantities or strategic combinations like the one I gave you before. So if your primary protein source is coming from ultra-processed snacks, you may not be optimizing muscle building, even if the label says high protein. Bioavailability and amino acid profile matter. Now, I want you to reflect on your own intake. How much of your daily protein comes from something that used to have a face or grew from the ground? Weird to say it like that, right? How much comes from a foil wrapper? This is not about shame, it's just about awareness. You don't need to become a food purist, but if your goal is to be lean, muscular, confident, and aging well into your 40s, 50s, and beyond, the base of your diet needs to be real food. Ultra processed, high protein products are tools, they're not foundations. Let me give you a simple framework to walk away with. When choosing protein, ask yourself three questions. First, does this resemble food in its natural state? If yes, that's a strong base option. Second, how many ingredients are in this? If you need a chemistry degree to pronounce them all, and I couldn't even pronounce the two before, maybe it's not your primary source. Third, if this disappeared from shelves tomorrow, would humans still be able to meet their protein needs? The answer is yes. We did it for thousands of years without protein brownies. So here's the bottom line. Protein is powerful. It builds muscle. It supports fat loss. It stabilizes blood sugar, but protein quality and food processing levels matter. Cookies with protein are still cookies. Chips with proteins are still chips, and that's okay in moderation. But don't let marketing trick you into thinking ultra processed convenience food is the same as real nutrition. If you want help building a nutrition plan that prioritizes whole food protein while still allowing flexibility for real life, travel, and the occasional protein ice cream, that's what we do inside the Modified Macro Method. Comment my turn if you're watching this on YouTube, or grab the Skinny Fat Blueprint in the link in the comments if you're ready to stop guessing and start building a body that performs and looks the way you want. Thank you guys so much for joining the Fit Focus Forum, and we will talk soon.